This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
So welcome everyone to the March 25th, 2024 meeting of the Cultural Committee. Evan, were you at our last meeting? Or is this your first?
This is my
meeting?
first.
Oh, okay. So we should do another walk around the table introduction. My name is Barbara LeBombard. I guess I'm the chair and I'm the city clerk.
She's never sure.
Yes, I guess you are.
You're guessing by now, Barb.
Yes. Oh,
Wendy Hammerly.
David Jaffe.
James Crawford. I'm Evan Garber.
Ron Albertson.
Liz Sturgeon.
Town Lucido.
John Bader.
Lisa Potts.
yeah. So we've got we're getting some new members and it's wonderful. It's great.
Somebody,
Yep.
I think, might have talked.
Yep.
Bringing in.
Yeah. It's like, well, I guess I'm gonna get rid of that thing on the side. All right. Hi, Alexis.
Wow, look how pretty that is.
We want to be where you are.
That's nice.
Is there beer there too?
That's my filter. It's not my.
We would have
Like a beer garden.
All right, we just did a walk around the table of, we've got one new member here tonight, Evan, and other relatively new faces, so it's great. Sure, there was one other new person, I can't remember. Anyway, there's been quite a few new members joining lately.
Somebody couldn't be here tonight. Anita.
She's been awesome.
So we must have been down a lot of members for like a lot of years. Just
Yeah, the
Nobody-
membership number on our committee is a little flexy anyway, so. Anyway, so I sent out the minutes of the February 26th meeting. If anybody has any comments, corrections. No. Thought they look great. Okay. If there aren't any comments or corrections, I have a motion to accept the minutes of the February 26th meeting.
We accept the minutes.
Okay, second. Okay, all in favor? All right, great. Public speak time. I think we're all members, so we can all speak. So, new business. Alexis, probably I'm going to throw this over to you to talk about the bike month.
Sure. Last year, Liz and I did a bike breakfast. So we just kind of added it on to the Northampton bike breakfast event, which was very lovely, but it was really only Liz and I. So, we're doing that again because it was actually kind of fun just to have a crew to go up to Northampton, and they've been doing their bike breakfast for 20 years. They probably started in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
PVPC said that it's their silver anniversary of Bay State Bike Month events, so 25 years, which is all very impressive. I've been talking to George because I've been going to the bike parties through the last year or so, and I've been talking to George about having a bike party in Easthampton and having Northampton folks bike down here and doing kind of a loop around town, and then going to get ice cream or stopping at one of the breweries. And I was wondering if you guys wanted to be included on that, or is it just a me thing? There's that. I had 3 ideas. I also reached out to Pascalina to see if I could do bike valet for Cultural Chaos, and I didn't get a response back. I can forward it to Barbara or the group. Bike valet is something that Mass Bike does, but they do it for it's been done for the Arcadia Folk Festival and the Mill Pond Live. events. And it's usually staffed with volunteers. And last year when I went to Cultural Chaos, there was bikes everywhere, like locked to everything that was stapled down over kind of by the at both ends of the event. It'd be really nice if we could just like put it behind the city hall and have it in the shade, and like everyone gets like a little ticket. So that was like a thing I wanted to do. And then sorry, my husband, who I don't think David Jaff might know him, is on the Bees Committee, and we wanted to do some trail cleanup for some time. And I know that last year we did a trail cleanup anyway. So those are the three thoughts I have. I could just, if anyone has any other feedback or ideas.
I love the idea of the bike ballet. I volunteered at Mass Bike ballet things at a couple of different places, and it's great.
It was hugely successful at Mill Pond.
Yeah.
It was packed both days, actually. So I can only imagine that it would be a huge success for this.
Yeah.
Especially if you could make the decision soon and get it on the, on the map and the paperwork and like all the advertisements, so people knew to come here to park. That would be helpful.
Do they pay? Is it, or is it, no, it's free.
It's great.
Okay. No donation jar or
Yeah,
anything.
so you didn't hear back from Pascaline?
No,
No. Okay, I can,
she probably has no idea who I am, so I'm just like someone random emailing her.
I can check with her on that.
Okay, great.
I actually worked that bike valet at Mill Pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of you have more experience than I do, even though Mass Bike owns it. I've actually never done it. So, but Jess, my coworker who lives in Northampton, has all of the supplies.
Yeah. The two times I did, I did it alongside Jess. Once it was at Look Park and one was at Bombyx.
Nice.
So it works great. And you can, Mass Bike puts out a tip jar. So if you want to throw in, $1 or $2 donation to Mass Bike, it's there. We could certainly do that for the friends. I think that's a terrific idea. I would help with that.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
And can I ask a question about the bike party?
Yeah.
So is this their event for Bike Month,
So
or is it something separate?
it's separate, but we could do it for Bike Month. So Friends of Northampton Trails does a bike party every month, all year round. And it meets it's only about like an hour long. It meets at Pulaski Park. And there's a different route and a different theme every time. But we've built up a pretty nice little cohort of Easthampton folks that meet on the bike path and bike up together to go to the event. And we're getting so many Easthampton people that George was like, we should come down to Easthampton. So yeah, I just wanted to do it. Well, full disclosure, my director expects me to host some Bay State Bike Month events because of the staff. But so that's part of the reason I wanted to include it. But also I wanted to do this anyway, and George wanted to do it. So, yeah. I see people nodding.
So when you say a party, so it's nothing formal. We wouldn't have to provide a meal or something. It's just
It's a ride.
everybody.
It's a bike ride.
Everybody, if they stop somewhere, they're on their own.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Halloween, people got dressed up in, I think that's the last ride I went to. We got dressed up as like in costumes, and then we rode around on our bikes. It was led by George, and we went to like all of the graveyards in Northampton, and then went to some houses with decorations. And then like an hour later you meet, and then a few of us go have drinks afterwards, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I could continue the conversation on email if anyone has concerns or questions. Liz and I obviously worked on it last year. I have to do it for work. So yeah, it's a cool. Last year, I think they had like over 180 events in the States, and it's been, as I said before, it's been going on in the Pioneer Valley for 25 years already.
Alexis, what are the dates for Bike Week this year?
I think it's the third week of May, and I can get you the exact dates in a second. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
There's a week and a month. I mean, there's.
Yes, so it's led by the Bike League.
So is she a rep for Mass Bike?
She works for Mass Bike now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen her at any of the events I've worked, but I worked a few.
I became staff last July.
Oh, okay. She did. I don't think I've done any since.
I think it sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
If these events are happening and you're aware, you're part of these events, can you advertise them along the rail trail, or can you put up signs for these events? I've noticed some for like the breakfast, but over on the Northampton part of the path. Are these things that we can bring attention to?
Usually they have these big posters that list everything. Sometimes I find them to not be real effective because there's just too much.
Mhm.
Yeah, they'll make a poster with all the events in the Pioneer Valley, which
Just
ends up being a big, long list.
PVPC makes those, and I've given them that feedback, and I don't think they're going to listen to me.
No, I think we would have to, if we wanted to, put up some signs.
When we used to do a
Just
bike
for-
breakfast every year for Bike Week, we made our own poster and put
Yeah.
them up around town. In addition to the PVCD big poster, we put our own.
What I've noticed are just those like lawn signs that they put up the little, cards.
Right,
yeah.
We can't put you can't put those signs anywhere on the bike path because they're not allowed.
Mhm. Even if it's,
for a trail event?
No,
Okay.
that would be kind of like, yeah, you can't do it.
I mean, Facebook, if we put it on Facebook, that's probably the best advertising.
Right.
Yeah, on the Easthampton page and.
Right. We can put them in the kiosks, but I don't know how many people stop and read stuff in the kiosks at this point.
Okay, all right.
That
It
idea.
looks like it's May 13th to 19th
Okay,
is Bike Week, which is also Bike to Work Week. Friday, May 17th is Bike to Work Day. We're just making it up at this point. and Mass Bike allows you to put events on their calendar year round. So we can add events to the calendar.
So is Bike Month all of May, or is it from a certain date in May to a certain day in June?
It's not a harsh cutoff. They're doing a kickoff party in Somerville at the end of April.
Okay.
All right, great.
And any interest or collaboration on the trail cleanup stuff?
Well, okay, so Owen Zarrett, who is kind of the organizer of the cleanup, he told me today, that downtown cleanup is going to be May 5th. That's a Sunday. And it's going to be, I think he set the hours of 9 to 1. So that's the cleanup day, which is separate usually from when we do the mulching. But that is the day.
what's the day again?
Sunday, May 5th. Is that
Okay. Yeah.
is that a Sunday?
Yeah.
Yep, Sunday, May 5th, 9 to 1. I have no idea what he's planning. I don't think he really knows right now, but that is the day. So what we have to decide is when we want to have our annual we mulch the planting bed up here by the mural and just get it all looking fresh. I propose that we do it on May 4th. It's a Saturday. If that seems to work. The reason I want to bring it up this early is because I want to reach out to George Labrie. George Labrie, is a landscaper out of Southampton, and he'll come with his little bobcat and he scoops the the mulch into the wheelbarrows and it goes like that.
That was so terrific.
Yeah, he is
Cut the
like
time in half.
key to making it go a lot
What was
faster.
that date?
Saturday, May 4th. When's the Past Comic Trust sale? It's not that early.
Mail is later this year.
Okay.
Later, I think it's in the third week of.
It's a little early. I mean, hopefully it won't be too cold, but
I'll be out of town that weekend, but.
Is that-
With the letters, because I'm wondering
Okay.
if we mulch that area and then you have to sort of tramp over it to do whatever they have to do to the.
yeah, well, the letters are is in my basement and my husband he's gonna put them up, but he's got to do some repairs and we've got to probably do some painting. And we couldn't really do it over the winter, so I think we can mulch and he'll get that done. Yeah. He may need some help. I'm kind of leaving it up to him on some parts of it. Pascalina has said that she will help with the painting, but I've also discovered that Terry has some painting abilities and I'll explain that later. That she also has indicated that she might be willing to help with some of the repainting of the banner. So.
Okay, what time on the 4th, just so I can get it on Facebook?
I say the earlier the better.
It's usually around 8:30.
8:30, 9 o'clock.
It's up, up to you guys. Is 8:30 too early?
How about
Saturday?
9?
How about 9?
9
I'll tell George to be there between 8:30 and 9.
to drop off.
I'll get the mulch the day before. And do you think were you there last year, John?
Pardon?
Were you there last year? I think we barely had enough.
Mulch.
10 yards.
Where was this?
The mulching.
Oh, Mosey, yeah, that was there.
Were you there last year?
Yeah, I think we had enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you bring some to the Coleman
We got a
Road?
little thin by the end.
Did you
Okay.
bring some to Coleman Road?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
brought some everywhere. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're all set. Yeah.
I'm gonna get 10 yards again. Hope for good weather.
Do we have any extra? I'm sure we can store it someplace. Yeah.
Oh, we never have extra.
Just make it thicker.
Yeah. Okay, Saturday.
Something we can do a rain date for.
Oh, we could do the 5th. The pile of mulch can't sit there for very long.
Right, it'll cook.
And also, I don't know if George could do a Sunday because he's a church goer. So,
It was raining last week.
We've done
Yeah,
it. We've done it in the rain
We've done it.
before.
I'm just conscious, we seem to have more severe weather.
Yeah.
That's true.
out of all the years that we've done it, I don't think we've ever had to cancel it.
Yeah.
We've gotten wet a little bit, but
You're kind of dirty anyway,
so. All right, okay. Yeah, if we get like 10 people, what, an hour and a half?
Mhm.
It doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have that machine again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if he can't make it that day, I will let everybody know because we'll have to reschedule.
Yeah, it'll take a lot longer to that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let everybody know that I really don't have any idea what's going on with the city budget and as far as the maintenance. The budget is kind of in process right now and I don't have any idea what's going on. Okay. So the DPW office manager did ask me for a list of what we've spent on things.
Mhm.
So I gave her numbers from the past 2 years and
We haven't heard.
she's in Portugal right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what she exactly needed that for or did with it, but I did give her 2 years worth of numbers. So
So they're already talking about including
we,
the committee in the budget for
Well, we're hoping to, over the next few years, move the maintenance responsibilities from us over to the city. So that we've had a conversation with the Public Works Department and the mayor, and they seemed agreeable, but it all comes down to money. So, and we had talked about having a person in the, during the season to be out there. I thought it would be good if we could have a vehicle, like a gator, one of those trail things.
That would be a game changer.
It would.
Because then it could be more preventive maintenance instead of like, oh my God, there's a tree across the trail.
Right. And they could carry equipment and I think it's really, free cash. We still haven't
Better late than never.
gotten certified for free cash, and so there's been actually no appropriations that have been coming up yet. So that's separate from the budget.
On the subject of the vehicle, Alexis and I, months ago now, did meet with reps from John Velas's
Oh, yes.
office, and they had said, no, he could see about, no guarantee that it would happen, of course, but he could see about putting an earmark in for the cost of one of those vehicles into the state budget.
Yeah.
That would go, I guess, to the city.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
But, they said it would help him to put it in if we had some kind of quote. This is what it typically costs.
Okay.
So if we have something like that, then I could. send
Yeah,
that
I
to-
had one.
He said April, May is the time frame when they're really going to be putting those in. So
So that's now. We should.
Yeah, the House is doing it now and then the Senate will do it in May. So
Do you work for? No.
I don't work for
Oh,
Senator Velas, but I work with his office
okay.
very often.
Okay. Yeah. When you said that, I'm like, your name sounded familiar, like.
You may have seen me on emails or whatever. But
I had gotten a quote from a company down in Springfield, but I really think that the Public Works Office might also have numbers because they've gotten them in the past.
Sure.
So.
I also know that like Elms, Westwood State, and UMass pretty regularly buy new ones of those types of vehicles and then sell the old ones to municipalities for good prices. Yeah,
So how do you find out about that?
Yeah.
I could ask around.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be, I mean, depending on that would be
As long
really,
as it's,
in decent shape,
yeah, you don't
Not on
want
Well,
its
they always
last
have
legs.
to, when I was a student at UMass, I worked at physical plant.
Yeah.
And we would get new trucks every year just to spend the money.
Wow.
It's like, as taxpayers, we're all happy about that, I'm sure, but
yeah, if you could look into that, that would be
that would be
excellent.
great.
Because we don't need like anything fancy.
Just functional.
I mean,
Reliable.
even if we didn't get a person, it would, our senior tax work off, we have a girl who works on the trail and during the season, and she would even be, I think it would be really helpful.
It would make her time spent more efficient
It would.
and that would bring value to us. That would be great.
You may even get some volunteers that want to just volunteer just to.
Just to be the driver, drive the golf cart around. Yeah.
What are you volunteering there, Steve?
Be dangerous.
When do we get the word on the maintenance grant?
June, I
June.
think. Yeah.
June, okay.
The city applied for a $200,000, was around 200,000.
I have meetings with Amanda on a regular basis, and she said she's going to do an announcement during Bay State Bike Month.
Oh, so May.
So May, okay.
Yeah, the city put in a pretty good sized application for pavement repairs and over the whole trail,
Mass Trails Grant, you're talking about.
Mass
Right.
Trails Grant.
Right.
I thought it was 400,000 with the city.
Was it
kicking in.
400?
Well,
200.
the estimate came in a little bit lower than what they
I
had.
can't even.
But yes, the city is putting in more than is required for the match.
Right.
I'd have to look at the minutes, probably in your minutes.
Which hasn't gone forward yet because free cash hasn't been certified yet.
Right.
That would have been in the meeting before. Yeah.
I think I sent out did I send an email to everybody about the status of the tree removal behind Ed's auto body? Did I?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, I got it.
About how it was looking like it was all set, that he was gonna pay $10,000 for tree replacement, and then things died because he got rid of his attorney and he said no,
And the agreement fell
and the
through.
agreement fell through.
Because attorneys are cheaper.
I mean, the mayor was, she was ready to sign it. It was right down to the last minute, and so
So what does that mean though?
I don't know. I'll have to.
It like delays the process?
Maybe he's
They'll,
gonna,
they'll have to
might
start.
have to let it, he might choose to
start again.
litigate it.
Yeah. He's getting
That
another
sounds
lawyer.
like that's probably what's gonna happen.
So, yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if anything's happened since then.
So is this like a criminal charge or a civil charge?
No. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but the police were handling it.
They were.
They were
No, it's-
investigating
it's
it.
criminal charge.
So,
Is they want him to replace what he cut down.
Yep.
He's lucky he didn't get a fine,
Yeah.
right?
Anyway, I hear anything more on that, I'll let you know. I think it's the Public Works, Police Department.
Conservation Commission has the right to do things like pay $100 a day until you put it back the way it was, kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's no wetlands there. I don't think.
Yeah, okay.
Does this happen, did this happen knowingly, or you just like
Chop chop,
knew it wasn't on his property?
it's kind of his property,
Yeah,
but kind of our
we don't know.
property.
I don't know.
Yeah,
This was about a year ago.
well, he was
Did he
given
hire a
permission, he was
contractor and
given
didn't
permission to
communicate?
cut a certain area. And we had the letter, he has the letter. It was like so many feet from the back of what the Ed's Auto Body building. And then he went, wait, I
Just
don't.
clear cut
Just
everything.
clear cut the whole thing all the way.
He was supposed to cut like maybe a 6 or 10 foot thing behind it there, but instead he just cut from there all the way up to the trail and left like a big bear.
I've seen it.
Swath. Yeah, you've seen-
With stumps. left the
Anything that was
stumps.
on his property is okay, but a lot of that wasn't his property.
Most of it wasn't his property.
Right.
It's city property.
Let's see, I think I emailed everybody about so we had found out that there was a section of fence along the bike path on South Street that I think it had rotted off at the base, and with that really heavy wind that we had, it blew over. And I don't know if I sent pictures of that, but it was, the whole
It was
fence,
a mess.
it was a mess. Did you see it yourself?
No, but I
No.
saw the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a
So
long section or just one little piece or?
it was like
There
three
was a couple of sections.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's behind John Street along that, it was the high privacy fence.
Oh, okay, that
Yep.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it caught the wind.
I was envisioning the other fence.
No, the wind wouldn't take that, but
Yep.
no, this was the high, was
Yep.
it 6 feet high?
Yep.
Privacy fence.
So the DPW then went right out, and then they looked it up and they found fencing that was similar but not the same at Home Depot, and they took our charge card and they went down and bought the fencing and put it right in. And I sent pictures of what it looked like, and I thought it
looked
looked
nice,
yeah,
yeah.
it looks good. Greg is a little concerned that that's probably not the only section along there that's rotted off at the base. So it might not be the end of it. But while they were out there, that one of the neighbors who claims that she had asked for privacy fencing when the trail was built and it was never installed, that I don't know if that's the case or not, but nevertheless, she would like fencing again. Because the DPW kind of had some time now, that's why I sent out the poll last week to see how people felt, and everybody kind of agreed that it was fine. They haven't gotten the fence yet, but I'm thinking sometime next week they'll probably put it in. Yep. She was very appreciative. So,
So
And we're-
it's al-
and we're
it's
paying
always
for
the
that.
same- It's always the same wooden,
she wanted, yeah. Well, like I said, it's not going to be identical to what they put in, but it was the closest.
And all the new stuff will be the same. So
Yeah, the
All
new
the-
stuff
all
will be
of
the same. It's not the lowest, you know, you can get really cheap fencing at Home Depot, and then you can get a little better fencing, and then you can get more expensive stuff. This is kind of in the middle. So,
And that was about
If someone
$1,000.
ever requests like plastic or something, we don't want to get it.
I know.
Stick with natural.
yes, so they'll have to not only get the fence sections, they'll need to get the post. And he was guessing between 700 and 1,000 and then there was, his question was, apparently there's a little space between the end of her property and where they put the fencing. And he wondered if we should just do the whole thing, but I don't know if maybe they want a little gap. So we're decided just to do just behind her house.
Yeah. And you want, if there's animals migrating, you want to leave them a spot to
Yeah.
get through.
Yeah, so there, it was, we talked about it and said, she's just asking for it, then it should just be her property. Any other maintenance issues that we know of that people have noticed or anything? No? Okay, good. It's really, so I have a project in mind. I don't know if anybody noticed my little post on Facebook the other day about, okay, so saw this thing on Facebook. It's called,
It's very cute.
I have an idea for this community art project. It's called Rocco the Rock Snake. And, or Rocky, there's different names. But when I was down at the garden symposium in Westfield and I saw that Terry, our senior tax work-off lady person, she does painted rocks. She sells them as, they're beautiful. And she has agreed to make the head of the
Okay.
snake. She's gonna look for a rock and she's gonna make the head.
Okay.
I think it's just the cutest thing, and it could be for kids, it could be for anybody that wants to
You should
add
ask the whole community to make them.
So she just puts the head and then you wait for other people to add their little
Right.
pieces. Okay.
I like it. Yeah, I think it's cute. So I reached out to a friend of mine who she and her husband had a place at One Cottage Street, Marcia LaRock Levy. She teaches at Mountain View School, and she's very enthusiastic and very artsy. And she said that she will bring it up to her. She has a after school program, and it starts like she's finished May 17th. She thinks that she could end up with like 150 to 200 rocks just from her class. And I thought this would be a great project for Camp Nonotuck. You know, an art project, but it could also be something that the senior center has a art, maybe they have an art class, or Wendy who likes to do. Anyway, I just thought it was really cute. I was thinking that it would be cute to put, after we're done with mulching, we would kind of start it over in maybe in that garden, that Williston that we did over there. We would start it there, and then it could just kind of wander all around that garden. So it wouldn't get in the way of the mowers. It would the next year. We would kind of have to pick up all the rocks and replace them.
Because,
Because,
but if they're in the mulch, so you're saying when we
Yeah.
remulch.
right, but that's not for a
But
year.
aren't they that one was right on the edge.
Yeah, this is right along a sidewalk. But we wouldn't want to put it right along the edge, like by the mural side, because it would get in the way of the mower. It could be on the other side.
Right, so there's grass and then there's.
We could do it around, and then we could even do a coil around the brick area. You know, you could do anything.
Or
but I-
could you do it where the grass meets the mulch? So it would be on the mulch, or is that still gonna be in
I
the
think
way
it
of the
might-
wheels of the?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to like get in the way of the
Yeah.
wheel. I think it's someplace where they don't mow is better. This is just an idea. I saw it, and then I saw this, and I thought it could be a really fun little community project. Doesn't have to be called Rocco. Is there a name that we could think of that would be like, you know, some connection to Easthampton?
Well, why don't we think about that?
Yeah.
You know, that's.
Manny, like for Manhan.
Oh, that's a pretty good start right there.
Nash. So think about that. Everybody think of,
The
the ones
Manhan.
I've seen have all been kind of related to rocks. But, yeah, Terry said she would start looking for rocks and she would make the head. And then from there on.
The mowing problem there, do they? It's like in
They
Arizona.
look like it's
This picture is-
desert,
There's
I
no
know.
vegetation out there.
I know.
There's none.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't put something on the rock, it fades. The
Right, you have to like
paint,
Mod Podge.
Oh, yeah.
they will fade quite a bit.
Coat
So
it.
it might be a good idea to tell who, if anybody's, that maybe just put some clear coat on it, make the colors last a little.
That one's really pretty.
Would even be cool if it could climb a wall. If you could attach them somehow.
Well, you know, that wall by the park. By Millside Park, I mean, by the mills. Is there something we can do along that? That would be,
Yeah, how would we do that?
I don't know,
We wouldn't want to put it along the base because that's
that would be mowing.
yeah.
There's no ledge.
I think that whole park is gonna be redesigned in a few years.
I don't think they're gonna move the wall though.
But
Ostensibly, there was a section where they were, when they do behind the mills, they were going to create, like some stairs down.
yeah, they were gonna do some stuff to the wall.
You know, these things could be movable too.
Right.
Yes, you're right.
Around. So if we
Right.
found a better spot or something
Yeah.
Yeah.
more creative, I mean, I think they will fade, so it's not gonna be something that's gonna last
Right.
forever.
Right.
But I think
One along, one of the railings or something.
along the railings,
Hmm.
Well, also you could have multiple. Beaches.
Right, it doesn't have to be just one.
Yeah, depending on how
We have
many
a couple of
rocks you
short
have.
ones
That
with
might
different
be-
space
that
and
might
stuff.
actually be cool.
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough by
Yeah.
the Y, like where the branches off into the
Right.
oxbow. I think that's a really cute spot.
right,
Oh, yeah.
that is.
I think I'd like to see it more in the middle because I don't wanna, I think a lot of people are right here in the center of town. And if you get it too far out, it's just, I think the more walkers and people go by and will see it like right here.
Yeah, I think that here or Mill Pond is the best.
Yeah. There have been instances where the head has been stolen, so,
I hate when that happens.
so
You know, public art.
we might be able to somehow secure it to something, so at least it is a little harder to
A
steal.
rattling sound.
Anyway,
Yeah, to a bigger rock.
Right, right.
well, you could do that and have
Super
it,
glue.
and then put mulch over that bigger rock.
Yep.
Yep, so you can't see the bigger rock, but it's down there.
Be able to lift it up.
That's a good idea.
Maybe even a post. You can drill a hole in the back of that rock and
Well, my husband was thinking maybe he could do something
Like
like where the
blocks.
eye is or something,
Yeah.
put a screw and you could paint over the eye into like a heavier rock, so it'd be like.
or you could put
That's what I was-
epoxy or something over that and paint it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's ways to do that.
I mean, people may swipe some of the other small ones too, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may just have to rearrange them once in a while.
Anyway, it's just an idea I
Very
had.
cool.
I thought it sounded
fine.
fun.
Yeah.
Anything, the map.
So we got, I was hoping Jake would be here tonight.
Okay.
Well, Alexis is
Oh.
still there, so it's,
Oh, it's just the monitor.
oh, there we are, okay. We lost you for a second.
Must have been a connection thing.
I was hoping Jake would be here tonight because he's got a new, as of what was that, yesterday that he sent that out, a new version?
Yeah.
He's got a newly updated version, which he emailed to George and Wendy and me, and he's getting very close to being done.
Right.
I was kind of hoping he would come and bring it, like last time he brought a full-size printout of what he had so far. And
Are we still looking for pictures?
Well, I sent him a picture today.
Yeah.
And he got that and
He liked
he said that would work fine.
Yeah,
But I don't know if he needs more than one, because if we take out all these ads, you know,
Just ask for
there
one,
might be, yeah, but if,
but we can always
I,
dig up.
I don't know, it depends on how he lays it out, but, so he's got the cover. I think that was the big missing
Yeah.
piece.
We're working on a new trail map
Yeah,
with
This one.
Northampton.
basically I have a very small pile left and that's it.
I'm the only one that does.
Well, I think somebody has some
Yeah, I
stash
do.
somewhere, but,
I don't see him anymore. Won't do that again.
but the other thing was, this one has all the trail etiquette rules. And so I think it was maybe George that said, does anybody really read those on a map? Is it worth taking up real estate on a map to restate things like move to the left and blah, 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 I don't know. So I don't know how people to restate it. to
Well,
have it on there.
I just feel like, I wish people would abide by those rules
I know.
more
Yeah.
frequently.
I
So I
know.
feel like,
But I do agree with him that I doubt ever, and nobody would ever look at it. You don't look at a trail map, just read, you look at it for the map.
Right, right.
I don't know, a lot of people might just pick it up to see what's inside of it. There's probably not that many people who are seeking out the map. Say, I really wish I had a map, and then found it all of a sudden. Like,
Right.
it's probably just sitting in a pile over there, and they say, I'll take a look at it. And I could see somebody going in, reading it if they had taken the time to pick it up.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having it in there, but if, I wouldn't mind not having
I
it
mean,
in
maybe
there,
you
so
could
I don't know.
condense them a little bit and put like the
Well, I can
things-
tell you what's in there right now. It's called Trail Etiquette and Guidelines. It's not a big list. Alert others when passing. Stay to your right unless passing. Ride or rollerblade in single file. Stop and look both ways at road crossings. Please don't litter. Bring out what you bring in. Keep dogs on a leash and pick up waste. Wear a helmet, parentheses, state law for bicyclists 12 and under. Respect private property along the trail. And lastly, except for personal mobility devices, no unauthorized vehicles are allowed on the trail.
Quite a few.
So are there any that we could eliminate?
No, I think those
I think
are,
it's really
I
good.
think I like the idea of having it on there.
I mean, respect private property along the, I don't know. That one maybe I could.
This year? Oh, yeah, it's just this.
Yeah.
If you weren't someone that
Right.
like rides the bike trail.
So, yeah, we all know it by heart,
Yeah,
and we assume everyone else does, but many people, like Joe was saying, many people. don't. So
some
it's a good
people
point.
think if they're walking, they're supposed to be on the left, because if you're walking on a road,
Right.
you walk on the left side.
Think about it. Most people just have ridden bike in their neighborhood and then a
Yeah.
bike trail opens and then they ride the
Yeah.
bike trail. So there's always new people.
Yeah, I would like to put it in if
Especially since
there's room.
Southampton's is gonna go online. So now there's gonna be all those people.
Yeah.
Is there not a sign with those on it somewhere on the trail?
They're on the kiosks.
Kiosks.
But-
Okay. I've seen that somewhere. I was trying to remember where it's
Yeah.
in it.
And I can throw it up on.
The kiosk by the mill,
once in a while.
Mill Pond River. Mill
And right
Pond.
here by Union Street crossing.
I would like to see added to it is something about e-bikes also, because like there's e-bikes everywhere now and a lot of people are riding them 30 miles an hour
Zooming.
without
Yeah,
pedaling.
they're the different classes of
Right.
bikes, depending on whether you have to be pedaling when you,
Right?
yeah, if you have some that have a
And how
speed
much power
control
it
in
has,
it,
things
and
like-
What's the rule on that now in Massachusetts?
Well, it's in the city.
It's in the
ordinance.
city ordinance. They redid it, what,
But
2 years
actually,
ago?
the last one on the list didn't say e-bikes in particular, but it talked.
It said
about-
unauthorized,
That's, so.
but how do
the
people know it's
distinction-
authorized?
Right,
They have to
but the
look it up.
distinction is if it's pedal assisted, that's okay, but if it's,
Right.
drive, then, yeah,
It's a moped. It's basically a
Right.
moped.
And they do go
if it's
fast.
self-powered, then that's not good.
Yeah, I can't remember when we redid the bike ordinances, if we put a speed limit on.
It was 20.
It's just 20 miles per hour, isn't it?
I thought it was
There
20.
is somewhere, I've seen it somewhere on the trail.
Because that's about as fast as you can go without,
Without,
right?
yeah.
And so,
In Northampton, before you go across the river, I believe is where I saw that.
And they have
Swear
a
to
speed
it, but
limit
I'm trying to
sign.
remember. I've seen it somewhere.
What does the ordinance say?
That's what I can't remember.
We'd have to look it up.
See, we
Well,
don't have to go, so.
But that could be an answer to put up, I know we don't want more signs, but a speed limit sign.
20 miles an hour is really fast, though.
It's pretty
I've ridden my
fast.
bike,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
really,
under human power at 20, and
Yeah.
you don't want to ride around people at that speed.
No.
Not on a
Class 2 e-bikes only go 20 miles an hour. Class 3 e-bikes aren't even legal in the state right now.
Right, the ones that were at the kiosks were limited once they were on the pass, right, down to 20? Was it down to
That's
not faster than 20?
There's a power restriction in how much power it has, and mine has 500 watts, and it's regulated to 20 miles an hour. And I do have to pedal.
yeah,
Not very hard, but I have
yeah,
to pedal.
probably adding something about e-bikes
E-bikes.
is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what,
Right.
Right,
probably
but it is more and more of an
something.
issue.
because that really, they weren't really, even with this most recent one, it
Yeah, they weren't a
wasn't
big
really
thing.
a thing.
Yeah,
no.
now let's work on
And
that.
maybe speed limit is the way to
I
address
don't know
it.
if I'd like to see a speed limit sign on the,
Yeah, I don't know.
that makes
Well-
it sound like it's a, like vehicle
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And maybe not a limit, but at least a mention of, like a moderate speed or something. I don't know. I don't know how
I think we should think about putting an abbreviated version of the ordinance somewhere.
Well, isn't that ordinance is specific to Easthampton? If this is for both Easthampton
Right,
and
that's-
Northampton.
that's right.
It has to,
Has to be generic enough to fit
Right.
both.
If it was the
I'm
state,
just saying,
if there's
again,
a
here's this
state,
thing, right, where this guy isn't really a biker and he buys one of these souped up bikes that goes 30 and he just whips down the trail with it. This is an uneducated person who's,
Well, the road trail is for everyone, it's not just for educated people, but we gotta.
it's like, where's he going?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
I
you
get it,
have
yeah.
to assume that someone's on there that just bought a new bike and has not ridden a bike in a while.
well, then they're probably not reading our maps.
uneducated about the rules of biking.
I mean, there is an ordinance and I think there's probably a fine if they are not, but who's gonna catch
Right.
them? Who's gonna
Enforcement
enforce it?
is-
I don't know.
But on the road, there's a speed limit sign up. If you don't have a sign up or anything on the trail to educate somebody of what the rule
treat
is,
it
then it's hard to
almost like-
hand out
Yeah.
tickets for not
We
following.
should look at our ordinance and
I just put the ordinance in the chat.
Ah.
If you can see it.
Or we could say e-bikes limited speed limit,
yeah,
so that you're specifically
That's an abbreviated version of the ordinance.
right, if that's what,
I'm
I
saying.
I don't know what it is. but-
Yeah, we need to look.
Um,
No,
So
we
it's right
talked
there
about it.
if you want to read it. She
So
just put
this,
it in the
I
chat.
brought this back from Florida where we were biking and I thought it was kind of cute and it's all over. It's just, I mean, you could hand these out or have them available. It's, share and be aware. That's for motorists and biker, and ring your bell, slide to the side and stay alert. I don't know. It's just, it's a little simple. You could do it probably on one card. And I don't know if we could do something where we hand these out or
need
something.
the bells.
Well, they're now required at this place where I was biking. They are required on the bike path.
How do they require it?
Because it's a
know, but-
foundation. It's a foundation.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
All right, first step, we gotta look at the ordinance. Then we
See
can go
what's-
from there.
What we can.
Yeah. But I know we talked about that very issue when we did the
Yeah.
ordinances.
Yeah, because
It
it's not,
doesn't say anything about speed in the ordinance.
Does it say anything about power assist?
Pedal
It
assist or
does.
whatever, pedal assist or power.
I think it had different levels.
Throttle assist electric bikes in the absence of active ride pedaling are restricted.
Okay,
Perfect.
there you go.
So you can't just put the throttle on and.
I think we
ride on
could
the
put
bike.
that on the, as part of the list.
Yeah.
Short enough and
Yeah.
makes sense.
If Northampton has a similar,
If Northampton has the same, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'll find out from George.
Yeah, we have to find that out.
Just look, yeah.
otherwise it'd be sort of like respect, local speed limits or,
Speed limit.
Or just, drive safely.
If it were only that easy.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I don't think most people would ever, they're just gonna go out and go for a ride.
And just,
And unless somebody catches them or there happens to be a patrol person on there and they're going too fast or they're crossing the side, the crosswalks without they're just gonna be out there.
well, it wouldn't hurt periodically at intermittent intervals to just like a Facebook post,
that's-
especially like when it starts to get the time when more people are going to be on a bike.
right,
Just to say,
seasonal,
just,
yeah.
Just a reminder.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. I can post like a seasonal reminder.
And there are people, I've seen a number of those bikes that are self-powered. And also there's, some guy with a self-powered skateboard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No way.
We got a friend that has a unicycle. He's wheelchair bound, he's paraplegic, and he uses the unicycle to pull himself around. And he just up down the bike path at 40 miles an hour, even at night sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, there's a kid who has one of those one wheels down at the mills too.
Yeah, that's,
That, the skateboard with the one fat wheel in the middle.
No, that's what
grandson has one of those.
Yeah, he let me try it. It was amazing. I want one.
Yeah.
But that being said, this is a whole generation of all these things that are coming out now. And are they allowed on the bike trail? Like this thing probably goes,
That thing also goes like 30 miles
20?
an hour. Yeah.
If it's self-powered, then no.
so he could just be booking down the trail with it. And he probably does. And so it doesn't maybe seem like it's a thing right now, but what if there's 20 kids on a Saturday with those on the bike trail?
Well, my friend used the bike path. He was working for Soldier On at the VA, and he went to visit the clients in various little towns, and he would take the bike path over to Easthampton. He told me specifically that he's got this unicycle that he pulls himself around with, and he uses it at church too. And he pulls himself around and takes up the offering, and he's great. But he told me that he couldn't get here when it had snowed because we didn't plow the bike path or blow it. And they do in Northampton. So that's what really got me interested in joining this committee.
Yeah, well, parts of it are, but not the entire.
Yeah, right.
We're working on, we've
Those
asked.
are road plowers too, some of them. We don't know who plows it.
Yeah,
but
we
someone
don't
does.
we don't know who does it.
Volunteers.
But there is
Secret volunteers.
quite a bit of the trail was plowed on the 2 storms that we had.
Well, we used to have more snow and then it just was more a haven for cross-country skiers than it was but
His problem was the far end of our part of the trail is not around anybody residences. So that's gonna snow blow it, I don't think.
Well, in Northampton, they don't do all of theirs either. They do the parts that get kids to school. But they don't do their entire.
Yeah, they wouldn't do like over Route 10 and I
No.
don't think they do. I
No.
think they just do kind of
Downtown.
downtown.
My friend says that they plowed that
The entire.
and he's used it when the snow on the
Okay.
ground.
Well, they,
That's
I
why
know
he
that
told me
they
that.
Tell them
plowed
to just keep going then.
the part that used to be the old Northampton bike path.
Yeah, they do
Right,
that.
they do that.
Yeah.
Always on that.
They don't do the part from the northern part of the Manhan to downtown Northampton.
Right.
I've been on that part and I think they maybe made one strip there, but you wouldn't call it cleaning it.
If it was one strip, I wonder if it even was the city.
Yeah, it was somebody.
It could be a
guy with a
neighbor.
snowblower
With a snowblower.
attached to his bike.
Well, another thing, we need to talk about paying Jake.
Yes.
So we kind of had an informal, correct me if I'm wrong, but an informal agreement when we talked to George that we would be splitting the cost of the cartographer between us and Northampton. So since he's very nearly done, we're gonna need to be prepared to pay him. He hasn't,
So do you have an idea of what the amount?
it's looking like it's probably gonna be, the total is probably gonna, not counting printing or anything, just his paying him his fee, is probably gonna be a total of what, 2,000?
Around
By the time
2,000.
he's done.
So it'll be 1,000 each.
Yeah. He's done a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of hours.
Many
that's more than
hours.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Many hours. So it's good that we can have if we need to vote on it, without an exact number, but it's good that we can say, put it in writing that we're
I'm
agreeing
wondering
to
how
do
much the
that.
printing's all gonna come to.
That I have no idea.
That we'll have to.
So, I just, I know that last time we did, Paradise, did they
City.
do it?
Yeah.
So just within the past, like 3 days, I've learned about how, maybe you know about this, Mass Corps, which is a Mass Department of Corrections. They have, this
Ludlow.
department that does,
Printing?
everything. They do printing. I'm getting envelopes from them. And a lot of other towns have done this for years. It was like so cheap, but you can buy kitchen cabinets from there. You can
They
buy,
make sheds too.
they do.
They make what?
They make sheds.
They do
If we ever need a
everything.
shed for the rail trail,
Actually, they had
Henry
all,
County Sheriff would be our, yeah.
Wow.
they had all sorts of park
Penitentiary?
benches, park amenities.
It's amazing. I've seen the facility. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
They do t-shirts and
Yep.
I don't know if I don't think we'd run into anything with like Hampshire County Sheriff being
But it got me
annoyed that
thinking.
we're going
I
for
don't
cheap.
know if they would ever be able to print something like this, whether this is like too involved or it would certainly be worth asking
Sure,
about
why
it.
not?
Yeah.
I should send I have their whole,
The list.
catalog that I got and I was like, I couldn't believe it, but like
Wow.
trash cans and
Yeah,
park
like a metal shop
benches
and-
and,
Well, they
Yeah.
have a captive labor audience, I mean.
Yeah. but I don't think that they can't make all that stuff. So I don't know how they do it, but this catalog had like everything.
I also know that they're expanding that program and they just bought they're finishing their new building in Indian Orchard.
Oh,
To like expand. I don't know if printing specifically is gonna go in there, but I know that they're expanding that work program.
Wow.
Henry County Sheriff's Workforce Initiative is what it's called.
I think the address I had was like
Yeah.
Milford. But I don't know. I think when we get down to the point where we're thinking about printing, I think it would not hurt to at least ask
Sure.
if
Right.
they could do something like
That
that
would be great.
because it
Save a
could
ton of
be
money.
like, it could save us a lot of money.
Sure.
I mean, I would want it to look, professional
Sure.
and be
Yeah.
nice, but I think it's worth, looking into.
Yeah.
So,
I also used to work at a graphic design and printing company, so
Oh.
I could ask. It was in Chicopee, so I could ask around
Okay.
if
Yeah.
I don't know if
yeah.
it's
It might be worth
taboo to
getting
go
it.
outside of the area, but Chicopee's not.
I mean, it
I
might
mean,
be
the
worth getting a
format is
couple
gonna be
quotes.
pretty much the same size, right? We had kind of agreed.
Yeah, so we want it to fit in the brochure boxes. So is that something that we should vote on in principle and say we agree that we will pay half of Jake's fee?
He's like asking for like $20,000.
Put a cap on it.
Right, I mean, we have an estimate,
Up
he's
to.
almost up to 2,000 now and he's getting close to being done, so we have a ballpark. And we can tell George that too, that we've agreed to. I mean, we've kind of said to him,
Right.
well,
We're gonna
yeah,
have
it
to
makes
proof
sense
it
that
at the
we,
next meeting, right?
I was hoping he would bring, well, he doesn't have the final yet, but I was hoping he would bring the current version that he sent us a couple of days ago, but yeah, I'm sure he'll bring it to us. Any last minute corrections or anything. Oh,
Do I have a motion to, that the committee approves the payment of Jake sharing half of, or some, how do you want to say
Paying
it?
half of his
Paying
bill.
half
of the
up to,
part-time
Did we do this before
it
then?
seems like we
Is
did.
this not in the
Original?
contract?
We do, we've
I think we,
discussed via email. I don't know that we have officially.
Yeah.
I don't think we can really, I think maybe we can just agree that in principle and
Okay.
then at the next,
Okay,
we can approve the expenditure.
yeah, by our next meeting, he may
should have the
be
final.
done
Hopefully.
and he may have his bill ready.
do you think that's?
Yeah, I think
okay?
that's reasonable, as long as we have
Yeah.
an understanding that we're gonna do
I'd
it.
rather,
Can be assured that we're not gonna, chip
Please
them out of his
Not gonna
money.
stiff them.
We're not gonna skip town.
Right.
Not gonna stiff them.
Shouldn't we have that as a motion voted upon, so it'll be there when the bill comes?
We're gonna have to proof it first.
Yeah.
So it has to come here for the next meeting.
Well, when the bill comes, we have to vote on the bill. We have to.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a large enough amount that,
Yeah.
even if we get it in between time, I think we should,
But I
act on
think we
it.
agreed in principle on this originally.
I do
last year
too.
sometime.
I do
Right, I
too.
just wanted to be clear because I think George brought it up now, we did agree that we were gonna
Yeah,
split
that's
this,
what I
right?
thought too.
And we said, yeah, I think we did, but let's just, run it past everybody. Okay.
I can give a 2-minute update on Southampton.
Oh,
Okay.
We've gone through the meeting,
Okay.
which was really great because, they're going through everything we went through.
Can you just explain that you're the liaison to the South?
Oh, I'm the liaison for the Southampton Committee. I was part of their friends group 20-something years ago. And, because they were supposed to purchase the trail with us and they didn't because some folks there were like,
Politics.
it didn't make the vote. So anyway, they're at the phase now where they have Ty and Bond doing the design. They asked a lot of really great questions. So it was kind of nice that I went because they had a lot of great questions. But where they're at is that they're trying to get Mass DOT to get to the 25% phase, which is the hardest part, to get that initial 25% design. And they've already, Ty and Bond has already been involved and has already done a lot of their work and they already have the money to pay them for the rest of their work and they're kind of cruising on it. But when they went to Mass DOT and said, we're going to come to you and do the 25% phase in June, DOT laughed at them because I guess they're overwhelmed. If you see how many Mass DOT bike projects there are. So unfortunately, they might move them to the end of the year for the 25%. So told them I might have to call my friend Pete Sutton, who I happen to go to school with, who is the guy in Boston.
At DOT.
Yeah,
Oh.
Pete Sutton is the sort of liaison in Boston for the whole bike trail
Oh,
thing. He's the one who spoke at the consortium
okay.
when we all spoke about our sections of the trail.
Okay.
He was the main speaker.
Oh,
He's a musician and graduated with me. So I kind of want to give him a call and be like, can you 25%?
well, at least they're
But
in
if
the
they're gonna
queue.
move them out like 6 months, right, because you get it at 25% and then they meet over the next 6 months to get it to 50 and then to get it to 75. So that's really gonna back that whole project up like half a year.
It takes time, as we know.
Yeah.
Well, Ty and Bond's already done a lot of the work. It's just DOT needs to, get their part.
Yeah, but they have to go through it. They have to have their engineers go through it.
At least they're in the queue though, right?
They are in the queue and it's in the tip for 27. So it would be getting built in 27 if they didn't hold it up this year for another, that's the problem.
It's only 24.
3
Yeah,
more
things
years,
take time.
3, 4 years. I know.
It's probably not gonna be the only.
All of us will still be around.
You're gonna have one of those throttle bikes.
Yeah, I will. I'll have a tricycle.
Yeah. Electric assist tricycle,
Yeah. Okay.
but it's moving.
Good.
And they also put in for the grant too. So I was like, put up your dukes.
They got it last year though, I think.
They did.
Did we both get it?
No,
Or
that
or we
Southampton,
didn't do it last
we
year?
didn't do it last year, but Southampton, I'm almost positive, got passports last year.
Yeah, I think that's how come they've gotten so far.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe Mass Trails will be like,
It's our turn.
Yep.
yeah.
All right, so I sent out dates about next month. I wonder if everybody's kind of looked at their calendar to see what might work for them. We've got some complications with this room and other things going on.
Yeah, so I don't have that email in front of me.
Okay,
Can
so
you
let me
say-
see,
tell us?
so, April 15th is Patriots Day, so that's not a good day. I'm not available on the 22nd, but that does not mean that you can't meet. The 29th, these are all Mondays. This room is not available, but we could do downstairs in conference room B. It does have remote capability, but I've never run a meeting from there.
Is it this
Be
big?
tight if there's this many
Um,
people.
No, it's not this fancy. It's just, we could definitely
Fit.
Yeah. So we could do that, or if we are flexible on days, I looked at the Tuesday, the 23rd, or Thursday, the 25th. This room is available. I think probably it'd be good to meet before we do our mulching and cleanup and all that stuff, so.
I can do the 23rd and I can do the 29th. That's fine.
Same.
Me too.
Any of those are.
Twenty-third, I can't make it.
Not just.
So do we want to just do the 29th and then just go downstairs into conference room B?
That's fine.
Okay, why don't we do?
Okay.
It's not quite as fancy. I think they do, I would have to just go down and make sure I knew how to do the remote part of it. Okay, so Monday, the 29th in conference room B, which is in the basement at 7:00. Sound good?
Yep, sounds good.
Who's got this room?
The city council is starting their budget meetings that night. Yeah, which is earlier than usual. So, and they've got like the next like 4 Mondays after that too.
And if anybody has any pictures, really nice artsy, nice pictures for either the website or Facebook, I'm always looking for good pictures. So feel free to send them my way, please. We've had the same
Everybody was
pictures
too
up
busy yesterday
Putting it out to
taking
the
pictures of
public.
the mountain.
Yeah, I could.
I mean, that might.
It was pretty cool.
With photos.
It's funny how the temperature is like a few degrees difference. Like I'll leave my house, it'll be raining and you get up there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah, there's such a line. I mean, it's like
Yeah, it's just that
Here
little
it's
bit of,
solid ice
height.
and here it's
a
not.
little bit of elevation.
Yeah.
It was
With
still
nicer
icy
people.
this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yesterday we went to,
All right.
play in the afternoon and it was all covered with
I know,
ice.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But it's
The
not
whole
dated.
Journey there.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
It's a journey.
Second, that's the most.
Motion, second,
Second.
all in favor? All right. Thank
I
you,
showed that,
everyone.
right?
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.